Networking is not optional. Let's talk about how real relationships create real opportunities. No one builds success alone. At some point, every serious entrepreneur, professional, student, or business owner has to face one truth. You cannot grow in isolation. Talent matters, skill matters, knowledge matters, but relationships matter too. And in many cases, they matter more than most people realize. You could be the smartest person in the room, have the best product on the market, or hold the most impressive degree, and still go nowhere if you don't know the right people. One good relationship can open a door that years of effort alone never could. There's an old saying, it's not about what you know, but who you know. That's why networking is very important. Not fake networking, not using people, not collecting business cards with no real intention behind it. Real networking is about building genuine, mutually beneficial relationships over time. It's about showing up, being proactive, being memorable, adding value, following up, and putting yourself in rooms and places where opportunity can actually find you. Networking the right way opens doors you didn't know existed and compounds over time like interest in a bank. Most people approach networking wrong from the start. They walk into a room wondering, who here can help me? Who can I pitch? What can I get? That kind of mindset, that kind of energy is felt immediately. That is self serving energy and it repels people. The most magnetic network is flip the question entirely. A better mindset would be instead of seeing what someone can do for you, see what you can do for them. Ask yourself, how can I be an opportunity for them? How can I help them? How can I add value? How can I connect them to someone useful? How can I make their life easier? How can I encourage, support, amplify, or assist them? See what you can offer. It's all about relationship building. Networking is most powerful when it is sincere and genuine. If you help someone solve a problem they didn't even ask you to solve, most times they'll want to help you back. The law of reciprocity is real. Give first and it will come back, often in ways you never expected. Networking works best when you actually bring something to the table. Become someone people actually enjoy talking to and can benefit from knowing. Spend at least 10 minutes every day providing value to people in your network. Share their content or leave a thoughtful comment or like a post. Write a review for their product. Recommend them or their business to people. Support their projects. Message them about something they'd find useful. Offer insight in an area that you are strong in. Everybody needs help with something. Just be genuinely helpful. That habit, practiced consistently, builds a reputation that money cannot buy. Your ultimate goal in any networking situation is to be the most interested person in the room, not the most interesting. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. That's far more memorable than any pitch or self promotion. Networking at its core is about building relationships, it is finding common ground, it is listening more than you speak, it is remembering what matters to them, it is about following up, it is about staying in touch. There is a powerful truth many people overlook. Proximity changes perspective. If you want to grow, it helps to be around people who are already growing. If you want to think bigger, it helps to be around people who think bigger. If you want to expand your opportunities, it helps to be where opportunity naturally circulates. That is why proximity to success matters. Some people say proximity to richness is a secret. In simple terms, if you are not where the money, influence, powerful relationships, and opportunities are, you make growth harder on yourself. You may need to intentionally place yourself in environments where ambitious, connected, resource people gather. That can mean professional spaces, but it can also mean social spaces. Pickleball, tennis, golf, yacht clubs, private dinners, art exhibitions, galleries, community boards, social clubs, professional associations, industry conferences, charity events, fundraisers, award shows, galas, panels, member clubs like Soho House, organizations like Chamber of Commerce groups, Alpha, CFA Society chapters, or other local professional associations. When you consistently put yourself in these environments, networking starts happening more organically. Conversations happen naturally. Familiarity grows. People see you often. Trust builds over time. The rooms you enter begin to change. And sometimes the opportunity is not at the event itself. Sometimes the event leads to the invite only dinner later, or the small private event, or the introduction after the event, or the person who remembers you 2 months later when they need exactly what you offer. This is how networks compound. You need to get out of the house. This is very important. A lot of people want more opportunities, but they are not actually putting themselves where opportunities live. They want better clients, bigger partnerships, stronger referrals, more visibility, more access, but they spend their time waiting instead of moving. It is not going to happen that way, okay? You have to go to the convention. You have to go to the seminar. You have to go to the event. You have to go to the gala. You have to go to the panel. You have to go to the fundraiser. You have to go to the dinner. You have to go to the community awards. You have to go to the mixers. You have to join the clubs and associations. Go to as many networking events as you can find. Find out what is happening in your area and start showing up. Yes, it can feel uncomfortable at first. Do it anyway. The discomfort will eventually fade, trust me. Useful places to find events include Meetup, Eventbrite, Luma, Partiful, local universities, alumni networks, Chamber of Commerce calendars, professional associations, community boards, LinkedIn events, social media pages for local organizations. Some people even recommend aiming for an average of 3 events a week if you are in a season of aggressive growth and relationship building. That might be too much for some people, but the point is valid. Consistency matters. The more you show up, the less intimidating it becomes. The more you practice, the better you get. The more people see you, the more familiar you become. And the more familiar you become, the easier networking gets. Events, conferences, and panels, conventions, seminars, industry conferences, award shows, galas, charity fundraisers, speaking panels, community events. All of these are gold mines, especially when heavy hitters in your field or industry attend. Boards and nonprofits are one of the most underrated networking moves. Joining the board of a nonprofit whose cause you genuinely support, you won't be in a position of influence overnight, but once you're on that board, it can put you around people with influence, resources, and community reach who can open doors you never knew existed. Board service often leads to deeper relationships than casual event attendance because you are working alongside people over time. Shared work builds trust faster than surface level introductions. Attend their events first, build rapport, then pursue the board seat. Social clubs and lifestyle activities also. Here's a truth that makes people uncomfortable. Proximity to success accelerates success. If you want to be around high achieving, affluent people, go where they go. Now, when it comes to social clubs and lifestyle activities, you don't have to be wealthy to participate. Many of these activities are accessible, and in these settings, networking happens naturally. It doesn't feel forced, and neither party feels like they're being networked at. Also, don't underestimate online spaces. LinkedIn groups, Reddit forums, Discord communities, and industry specific Facebook groups all offer access to people you'd otherwise never meet. Combine online and offline consistently, they reinforce each other. And if you can't find an event worth going to, create one. Host your own event. This is one of the most powerful positioning moves available. Hosting an event, even a small dinner or panel, immediately establishes you as a connector and a leader. Get brands or companies to sponsor it. Invite people you want to meet. You become the hub of the room instead of a person circulating it. Hosting your own event is one of the most powerful networking plays available. It lets you gather the kinds of people you want to know. It gives people a reason to come to you. When done well, hosting can lead to new customers, new partnerships, more visibility, sponsorship opportunities, revenue, investor conversations, stronger local authority, stronger community presence. It also helps other people connect, which increases your value in the ecosystem. The person who creates the room often becomes the most important person in it. How to get into events for free is easy. Cost should never be a barrier to networking. There are smart, practical ways to get into galas, award shows, and community events without paying full price or paying anything at all. One of the smartest ways to access community events, galas, award shows, and similar spaces is to volunteer. So sign up to volunteer in an event. This can get you into events completely free. And if you volunteer strategically, it can be even more powerful than simply buying a ticket. For example, working the registration desk is one of the best positions you can get. Why? Because the people checking in often have to give their name, and there's a good chance their organization, role, or title is visible on the event list. That means you are learning who is in the room before you start networking. You can mentally note who you want to talk to later. Compared to setup or helping people find their seats, registration gives you a clear view of the room and who matters for your specific goals. And even if you work the registration desk for just 45 to 60 minutes, you're then free to enjoy the rest of the night. Volunteering also gives you a natural role. You are not entering as a random outsider trying to force conversations. You are part of the event. That can make approaching people easier later because you're associated with the space already. Leveraging existing connections is also important. As your network grows, so does your access to private events, dinners, invite-only gatherings, and exclusive experience become available because someone in your network referred you or brought you as a guest. This is what your network compounds like interest actually means in practice. So let's talk about how to actually talk to people. Walking into a room full of strangers can feel daunting. Here's how to make it feel natural and make yourself genuinely memorable. Lead with a genuine compliment. A genuine, sincere compliment immediately lowers someone's guard and makes you likable. Notice something real. Their work, something they said at the event, a piece of clothing that's actually interesting, and say something like, I don't think we've met yet. I'm Ray. I love the question you asked during the panel. That's a perfect opener. Ask questions and actually listen because people love to talk about themselves. Let them ask open, curious questions and then listen, not to prepare your next statement, but to actually hear what they're saying. Use what they share to ask follow up questions. Mirror their enthusiasm when they talk about something they're passionate about. This is not manipulation, it's genuine interest, and people can tell the difference. Find common ground and build on it. Look for areas of overlap. You might be from the same hometown, same industry background, shared hobbies, mutual connections, even a shared opinion about the food at the event. People are naturally more open to those they feel connected to. Common ground is the fastest shortcut to rapport. Be physically approachable as well. This sounds basic, but it's often overlooked. Smile, make eye contact, keep your body language open. If you're standing in a corner looking at your phone or wearing a resting scowl, no one is going to approach you, no matter how impressive your credentials are. Dress intentionally is something you should also do. Your appearance signals whether you take yourself seriously. Dressing well at a professional event is not vanity, it's a conversation starter and a first impression. People notice. One person I know got their internship because a recruiter liked their suit and complimented it. Wear something that reflects who you are at your best. Sharp, put together, and confident. Smell good. Be well groomed. I'm not saying you need to dress in anything super fancy, okay? Just show up as the best version of yourself and make yourself approachable. A lot of people do not realize how approachable they look. Your face matters. Your energy matters. Your posture matters. Your grooming matters. Smile. Use active eyes. Be alert. Make eye contact. Have open body language, like I said before. Look like someone people would feel comfortable talking to. And how you dress matters because people do start conversations because of someone's shoes, jacket, skirt, suit, watch, or overall style. What you wear can become a conversation starter. So wear something that could be a conversation starter. Looking polished can communicate confidence, seriousness, competence, and self respect before you even say a word. The way you present yourself can open doors. So, one of the most disarming, effective openers in a group setting would be, mind if I network with you all for a while? It gets a laugh most of the time, immediately relaxes the group, and signals confidence and humor. Be fun, lighten the atmosphere. People remember how you made them feel. Use Q&A sessions strategically. At conferences and panels, always have a question ready. When the mic comes to you, introduce yourself before asking it. Say, "Hi, I'm Ray. I'm a DNA testing business owner. And my question is," in 30 seconds, you've introduced yourself to an entire room. If your question is good, people will approach you afterward. This is a free, effortless form of visibility that most people never use. This is a system, a formula that a person I know used to go from zero connections to many connections over time. It works because it's compounding. Go to social media and search your field. You can use LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, company website, alumni directory, TikTok, Google searches, industry websites. Type in your industry, your desired role, or the type of professional you want to learn from. So if you want to connect with phlebotomists, for example, type that in. Don't limit yourself to people who do exactly what you do. Look at who those people follow to and who follows them, who they work with and who they are connected to. That's often another list of valuable contacts. Your next good connection may not be the person you originally searched for. It may be someone in their orbit. Also look for people in adjacent fields, lawyers, investors, content creators, nurses, social workers, anyone whose work touches yours. They may know the referrers, the gatekeepers, the decision makers, the sponsors, the organizers, or the collaborators. Business rarely grows in isolation. Send a simple, respectful outreach message. Your message does not need to be clever or elaborate. It needs to be brief, respectful, and direct. Let me tell you a template, for example. "Hi, my name is Ray, and I'm a DNA testing business owner. I came across your profile and really respect what you've built. I'd love to ask you just a few questions about your journey if you ever have a few minutes to do so. Happy to work around your schedule." That's it. Clear, respectful, no wasted words. You're not asking for a job. You're not pitching. You're expressing genuine interest and asking to start a conversation. This is one of the most practical networking strategies, just simply reaching out. That's it. Most people never do this. They say they want to get into an industry, grow their business, get a mentor, land internships, get referrals, or build meaningful relationships, but they never actually contact anyone. That is why the people who do reach out have such a big advantage. Have a real conversation and end with one key after that. Now, when they agree to talk, come prepared with a short list of genuine questions. Ask how they got started. Ask what they wish they'd known earlier. Ask what skills actually matter. Ask what surprised them most. But your last question, the most important one, should always be, is there anyone else you think I should contact or connect with? This question changes everything because now you're no longer building your network one person at a time. This one question turns every conversation into a referral chain. If you talk to 2 people this month and each refers you to 2 more, next month you have 4 conversations. Those 4 become 8. And if each of these people recommends more, the network grows fast. The network compounds. That is how your network expands rapidly. Not through luck, not through waiting, not through one viral moment, through intentional conversations and introductions. This is one of the most practical systems for growing your network at a rapid rate. So I'm going to give you some questions that open real conversations. How did you get started in your field? What do you wish you knew earlier? What skills actually matter day to day? What surprised you most about this industry? What's been the biggest challenge you face? How has the industry changed since you started? What trends are shaping where things are going? What resources or books would you recommend? Are there events or organizations you'd suggest? What would you do differently if starting over? What do you enjoy most about your work? Is there anyone else you recommend I should talk to? So, some great questions include: how did you get started? What do you wish you knew earlier? What surprised you most about your industry? What skills actually matter in your job? What do you enjoy most about your work? What is the most interesting part of what you do? What has been the highlight of your year so far? What are some of the biggest challenges you face in your role or industry up until now? How has the industry changed since you started? What trends do you think are shaping the future? What advice would you give someone just starting out? What resources or books would you recommend? Are there any organizations or events you recommend? What conferences do you usually attend? What do you like most about working at your company? If you could go back, what would you do differently in your career? These kinds of questions can give you insights you will not find in a book or online. And do not be afraid to ask about the human side too. Like, what are your hobbies? What's your hometown? Do you like sports? Do you travel? What countries have you been to? What is your favorite restaurant? What do you like to do outside work? People connect deeply through common ground. A lot of people say they are bad at networking because they're not good at talking to people. Usually that just means they need a few practical tools. One of the easiest ways to begin a conversation is with a genuine compliment. Compliments lower people's guard and makes you more likable. Everybody appreciates being seen. Also, you can use openers like, hey, I don't think we met yet. I'm Ray. What brought you here today? Or, hey, how are you doing? What brings you here today? What's something exciting you're working on right now? What's been the highlight of your year so far? What's the most interesting part of your work? One on one or small interactions often work better. The follow up is where most networking dies. Following up is where most people fail. This is where networking succeeds or dies because a lot of people are decent at meeting others. They can smile, hold a conversation, exchange contact info, and leave an impression, but then they disappear. They never follow up, they never reach back out, they never nurture the relationship. That is unsuccessful networking. Here's an uncomfortable truth: most people who go to networking events are bad at networking, not because they can't make conversation, but because they never follow up. Like I said, they meet someone, exchange contact info, then let it dissolve into the ether. That's not networking. That's socializing with wasted potential. Do not be the person who is good at socializing and bad at keeping connections. The best relationships are rarely made immediately. They take time to build, they take time to nurture. And if you do not follow up, many of those relationships will never fully develop. The follow up is more important than the first meeting. Now let's talk about the 48-hour rule. Reach out within 48 hours of meeting someone new. After that window, you're a faint memory. Before it, you're fresh and real. The sooner you follow up, the more the conversation is still alive in both of your minds. People forget quickly. Reach out same day or next day when you can. A simple follow up might say, great meeting you at the event. Hi, it was great meeting you at the event. I've been thinking about your point on whatever the specific insight was. Would you be open to continuing the conversation next week? Happy to work around your schedule. Regards, and then your name. That specific reference to something they said matters. Generic follow up often gets ignored. Specific follow up often gets remembered. And if you are really serious about building a connection, one powerful tactic is to send a voice note instead of a DM or email. A short voice note feels more human and more personal and more memorable. Mention something specific from the conversation. Express genuine appreciation, curiosity, or interest in continuing the relationship. Record something like this: hey, Bob, it was so great meeting you at the event last night. I kept thinking about what you said about the mentioned specific thing they said. That really resonated with me. I'd love to continue that conversation. Would you be open to a quick call sometime or grab a cup of coffee? I'd genuinely love to collaborate or learn from you. The human voice can make a real difference. When somebody's inbox is full of, hey, great to meet you messages, a thoughtful voice note referencing a real moment from your conversation makes you unforgettable. People like genuine interest, they feel it. So let's talk about keeping a relationship alive. Following up once is good, staying in touch is better. Keeping in touch is key. Check in occasionally, comment on their wins, congratulate them, send useful resources, refer opportunities, share something relevant to a past conversation, invite them to something, ask how things are going, support what they are building. Relationships fade when there is no maintenance, and the strongest networks are built by people who understand that real connection is ongoing. Do not collect contacts and let them die in your inbox or your contact list. Practical details matter. Bring business cards, or better yet, use a digital card or QR card. Make it easy for people to keep your information. Another underrated tactic: ask to take a photo with the people you meet. This gives you a natural reason to ask for their number so you can text them the picture. Now, instead of relying on a DM, LinkedIn request, or email that may get buried, you have a direct line of communication with them. It also helps your memory and for you to put a face to the name later. Also, the picture helps them to remember you. While at an event, if you tend to forget details after events, keep a note in your phone right away. Write down or make a quick note on your phone of the person's name, how to contact them, or their Instagram handle, or their LinkedIn, and one specific detail from your conversation. A topic you discussed, something they mentioned about their work, where they're from. And when you follow up the next day, that detail becomes a connector. Without it, you're sending a generic message. With it, you're continuing a real conversation. So, for example, write down where you met, their company, what they do, something specific you talked about, any common ground, hobbies. So, for example, loves dogs, is from Houston, mention a creative client project, runs a wellness business, interested in collaboration, loves golf, going to Italy next month. That note makes your follow up far more personal and effective. After the event, talk to the host. Most people pack up and leave when an event ends. Instead, stay and introduce yourself to the host. They hosted the event, which means they know everyone worth knowing. Get their contact information, email, LinkedIn, build that relationship. It's a direct line to future events, private gatherings, and introductions. Build rapport with organizers too. Get their contact information as well. Organizers are often extremely connected and know who is who. You can send a follow up message like, great meeting you at the event. Hi, to mention your name. It was great meeting you at the event. I've been thinking about your point on whatever specific insight is. That really stuck with me. Would you be open to continuing the conversation next week? I'd love to know more or get your perspective on whatever the topic is. Building a personal brand that attracts connections. Your network doesn't only go through in person outreach. Your personal brand, the way you show up online, the reputation you build, the value you consistently share works for you around the clock. Be consistently active. Share insights, comment meaningfully on others' posts, and engage in groups related to your industry. Content creation, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Pick one platform, commit to it, and share what you know. Visibility creates inbound opportunities. Community involvement. Show up to community events and awards even when you're not being recognized. Attend, learn, be present, build your rapport gradually. Your personal brand does something that in person networking can't. It works when you're sleeping. When someone Googles you, they should find a clear, compelling picture of who you are and what you're about. That impression either opens doors or closes them before you even walk in. Networking gets stronger when your name means something. That is where personal branding comes in. As you think about growth, ask yourself, are you building on LinkedIn? Are you posting thoughtful content? Are you active in your niche? Are you starting a newsletter? Are you starting a YouTube channel? Are you growing a TikTok? Are you becoming known for something specific? Your personal brand supports your network because when someone looks you up after meeting you, they should see consistency. They should see professionalism, clarity, and evidence that you are serious. A stronger brand makes people more likely to remember you and introduce you. Bring something to the table. One important counterpoint: networking without skills is just socializing. You can be in every room and every event, schmoozing every important person, and still go nowhere if you don't have something to offer. The best way to network with someone who is ahead of you is not to approach them with your hand out. It's to identify the gap between where they are and where they want to go and offer to help close it. Maybe your social media strategy is something they desperately need. Maybe your analytical skills complement something they're hiding. Maybe you have a connection that would help them. Build real high value skills, become someone worth knowing. When you carry that confidence, the self assurance that you can actually back up your words, it comes through in every conversation. You stop pedestaling people and start engaging them as peers. And don't forget, Be interesting beyond your work. Travel, pursue hobbies, have opinions, tell stories, do things, learn things. The layer of personality that makes someone genuinely want to keep talking to you isn't your job title, it's your humanity. Clubs and associations can create steady, repeated exposure to the kinds of people you want to know. This could be yacht clubs, city social clubs, country clubs, member clubs, alumni groups, business associations, trade organizations, art circles, cultural groups, charity committees. Some of these spaces cost money, but if the right people are there and the environment aligns with your goals, that can be a worthwhile investment. Sometimes your membership dues are not just buying access to a place, they are buying access to a network. And once you are in, do not just show up physically, participate, build rapport, offer value, let people know what you do in a natural way. Over time, referrals often start happening organically. Online networking still counts. Do not ignore online spaces. Networking can happen through LinkedIn groups, Reddit forums, niche communities, industry, comment sections, newsletters, webinars, online panels, social media, YouTube. Use both online and offline opportunities. In person creates depth, but online keeps you visible between in person moments. Know when not to force it. What I mean is, not every connection is meant to be something. There are so many talented, great, and interesting people in the world that there's no reason to force relationships with people you do not like, do not trust, do not align with, or get a bad feeling about. Let some conversations end naturally. Let some connections stay light. Follow what feels mutual, where there is good energy, alignment, and respect. Networking is not about collecting everybody, it's about building the right circle. Be patient. The return is not always immediate. One reason people stop networking too soon is because they do not see instant results. That is a big mistake. Your network is your net worth. And like any investment, it takes time to see a return. You may not see a return after the first event, the first coffee chat, the first volunteer shift, or the first follow up, but eventually things stack. The best relationships aren't made in a single conversation, they're built slowly through follow up and consistent interest and showing up over time. Networking will get you into rooms and get you opportunities you've never imagined, but it takes patience and consistency to get there. Over time, your confidence grows, introductions become easier, you stop entering rooms as a stranger, and people start recognizing your name. So trust the process. A simple networking formula that actually works is the following: reach out to people consistently, search intentionally for people in your industry and adjacent industries, ask thoughtful questions, end conversations by asking who else you should connect with or speak to or contact. Find common ground and be genuinely interested. Show up in rooms where the right people gather. Add value before asking for anything. Follow up within 48 hours. Keep in touch over time and become someone worth knowing. This formula works, so start now. Reach out to 2 people this week. Go to one event. Follow up with the people you meet within 48 hours, and then do it again next week. The formula is not complicated, people. It just requires the willingness to start and the discipline to keep going. As your network grows, something remarkable happens. Doors start opening up that you didn't even know were there. Introductions come unprompted. Opportunities find you. The compound effect of a well tended network is one of the most powerful forces in business and in life. There's an old saying: a good lawyer knows the law, but a great lawyer knows the judge. It is a reminder that relationships move the world. Knowledge matters, but access matters more. Skills matter, but who you know matters more. Invest in relationships and opportunities will follow. Spend your money when it makes sense to get in the room. Take advantage of opportunities to meet people. Be sincere, be memorable, be valuable. Follow up, stay in touch, keep showing up, because connections are just as important as money in this world, if not more. And the opportunities that can change your life are often sitting in rooms you have not entered yet.